recently went for a day out with my friend Alex, and we got talking about makeup. I think she'd been for a one of these portrait pictures, and they'd done her up in makeup, and she looked really beautiful, and she was like, oh well, you know, I've never really put on makeup before. And for somebody like me who's used makeup for pretty much most of my life, it's just like impossible to understand like the fear of using makeup, because you don't really know how to use it, and you've never experimented, and never did it as a kid, and gone through those times where you wore too much or didn't really know how to use it. So I was explaining, oh, I learned so many things from going on YouTube, and I'm sure there's tutorials on putting makeup on and things, but I thought I'd do my own because she's my mate, and I thought, well, who better to like do a little bit of a tutorial. So this is for you, Alex, and also anyone else out there who's never worn makeup and is so old that they're afraid to try. Don't go out and buy expensive makeup lessons, because they won't teach you the very, very basics. They'll teach you tricks and tips and things like that. So I thought I'd try doing the very, very basics. So that's my makeup box, but you don't need all that. So I'm going to go through the very basics and say, if you were going to go out to buy stuff, what sort of things you should go for. So I'm just going to sort out a few key things and then show you one by one. Okay, so I've got a few bits and pieces that I've selected out, so I'll go through each individually and show you how to put it on, and if it takes too long I'll run it into another video, and you can listen to me drone on for a little bit more. The first thing, I think this is the first thing I ever bought, or one of the first things, and it's concealer, and that's because as teenagers you get spots, you want to cover them up. A lot of girls who don't wear makeup, I think it's probably because they were very lucky with their skin and never had that kind of, oh god, what am I going to do about all these spots? After trying lots of different concealers, I recommend you don't get cheap ones, because they're quite gloopy, and they're kind of a funny orange colour, and they're really obvious. And what I use are these either Touch Eclat or don't know what, Flash Retouche. These I spend quite a lot of money on, because that's a Lancome concealer or highlighter, and that's an Yves Saint Laurent highlighter, and I think they're about £20, which is very expensive for makeup, even the expensive makeup. But these are really good skin colour. They blend in, and they're also a little brush. You push down on the end, maybe once or twice, and that's it. And a little blob of, it's basically like thick foundation, comes into this little bit here, and then you'll find a spot, and I've got one there, see, and you just put a little bit on, and it's really obvious. So either you smudge it with your finger, or if your brush is a little bit dry, you could smudge it in with the brush. And I've put a lot on there, and I don't really have a mirror. I've just got this camera. So as you can see, it's almost disappeared. I've got a little mole there, so that's what's moving, and I'm doing this opposite, so it's not even like a mirror. Yeah, so that's how you try and make your little spots and blemishes disappear. The next thing to talk about is foundation. I've got like a cream foundation here. I very rarely use foundation, actually, because it's not good to wear so much stuff on your skin, but the only time you really need to use foundation, or not need, but it's nice to, is if you're going out on a proper sort of evening do, or you want a proper base to put your makeup on. It's almost like it's almost like preparing a canvas for getting your blusher and your bronzer and all this sort of thing. But you shouldn't really wear it every day, and if you do, you've got to make sure it's a really light or tinted moisturiser, or a really good quality one. And this is Lancome, and it just goes on and it smooths in, and it makes my skin quite smooth. And as you can see, it doesn't leave a big orange line like some ladies wear their makeup. When you get anything skin tone, you're gonna have to not shop around, but you're gonna have to go and do the testers, and then put a little bit on and sneak outside and get a little mirror and look at it, and if it looks orange, don't go there. Just go a little bit lighter than your skin tone. I've got the lightest colour that Lancome does, and I mean, my skin's pale, but for this video being for you, Alex, I know your skin's even paler than mine, so you might even have to go to a specialist company. Like I think that the redheaded girl of Girls Aloud does a specialist skin company for very, very pale skinned girls, so you might want to look into that if you want to buy foundation at all, because you probably don't even need it. But then once you've got foundation, and you probably find that you take a little bit of the natural colour out of your skin, which is probably the wrong way going around. Makeup is all about enhancing what you've got rather than stripping it and painting something new on. That's not what we're aiming to do. But if you're putting a base on, then you have two things. You've got your bronzer to get a tanned look, and you have a blusher to get a sort of English rose look. And if I'm putting on big makeup, I tend to put on a tiny bit of both, not too much. Especially go easy with the bronzer. Okay, I've got this. It's number 17, and it's one of these ones with pearls in. I don't know if you can see it. I don't want to get bronzer all over my laptop. But if you can see, there's like little pearls in it, and they're good to get. I've just got bronzer all over my laptop. Oops. But yeah, the pearls are good to get because they're all different colours, and if you just put a flat colour on your face, it doesn't quite look right. You want to try and like get the different colours because it all blends in nicely. So get a little bit on your brush, I'll put it in the main thing. When you dip it in, you're getting far too much on your brush there. If you put that on your face, you're going to have a big brown streak. So you kind of tap it on the edge or tap it against your hand. It might look like you're pulling it all off, but trust me, there's enough on there to make a little bit of a thing. And then you basically just where your face would get sun-kissed, so or wherever you want it. I mean, sometimes you'll read in magazines to like sweep it up here and a bit here, and there's like all sorts of things they say, oh, put it here and it'll define your face nicely. But I just sort of put it on where the sun would get it, because that's the natural thing to do. That's how it goes naturally. Okay, you can also get bronzers just all mixed together, or you can get I think you can get cream bronzers. I'm going to show you a cream blusher here. This is a Lancome blusher, and it's just like the foundation. It's a cream. You put a tiny, so you can barely see it on your finger. So there's it on my middle finger, but you can hardly even see it. But you put that on, and it's just like a little golden blush. You can hardly see this in the camera, but just a tiny bit on the apple of your eye, and that's this bit here. So when you smile, it's the bit that sticks out, and that'll give you the English rose look. I'm kind of doing a lopsided makeup thing here, so I'll try and keep it even so I don't look like a monster at the end of it. I've also got this blusher, and this is a powder one, and it's Saint Laurent, and can you see how the colour is light at the top and darker at the bottom? And that's kind of the same effect, same theory as the bronzer. So if you put a little bit of this on, it's more natural because the light's got all sorts of different colours to catch, rather than just one flat colour, and it looks a bit unnatural. Okay, so now that you've got the base, this is what it's like your natural face, but a little bit smoother and less blemishes and a little bit more colourful, and that's the idea you're looking for. Just going to go to a part 2 now, because this video is getting too long, and part 2 is going to be dealing with all the things that you add to your face to enhance and colour and your eyes and things like that. So go to part 2 if you're interested.